No matter how your team performs, mistakes happen, and your customers or partners may become frustrated. In such situations, you may have to deal with complaints or escalations. Those are never fun and may require considerable constraint in diplomacy from you. Here are some steps you can take to manage an escalation or complaint. Usually, people resort to escalations when they feel they have not received the required support or resolution from your team. This would mean that by the time that the issue reaches you, there is a wealth of negative emotions already accumulated. The same may very well be true for your team member to whom the escalation relates. Nobody likes being escalated, and your employee may feel apprehension and fear of the consequences of the escalation. There may as well be some frustration and anger if the complainer has been too pushy or aggressive when interacting with the team. So make sure you tread lightly and not contribute to the further escalation of emotion. Furthermore, make sure that in your communication with all parties, you project calmness, objectivity, and desire to find resolution. The next thing you need to do is understand the situation. Find out as much as possible about the issue from the person who initiated the escalation, your team member, and anyone else involved in the case that may help. Dig deeper with your team member to understand the root cause of the issue and why it came to be. Assure your team member that you're not trying to find who is at fault, but to understand the problem and find a resolution. And do that. Find a resolution. Sometimes you may not be able to solve the problem the customer or partner has, so you may need to offer compensation instead. Based on the facts that you have uncovered during your investigation, you should work with your team member to revise your processes to avoid such issues in the future. Remember that more often than not, human errors are process errors. It may be that your process is too cumbersome or complicated, or simply that you do not have enough checks and balances to spot errors when they occur. Then last but not least, you need to go back to the requester and provide a response to the escalation. There are several things that you need to communicate. Provide an apology, but don't go into self-flagellation. Give a brief, and I do mean brief, description of why the issue happened, a resolution, and assurance of the steps you will take to avoid this happening again. There are a few mistakes that managers make at this point. Do not try to over-explain. The person on the other side is not interested in the little details of your processes. They want to be assured that you're taking the issue seriously and that you have made an effort to correct it. And never, ever assign blame. You may be tempted to do that, especially if the error occurred not through your team's fault. But blaming technology or other teams would do nothing to restore the trust of the customer or partner in your organization and, to be honest, in yourself. Let's recap. Managing escalations is an inevitable part of the working day of a manager. To manage escalation successfully, you need to manage the emotions of everyone involved, understand the issue and its root cause. Then you need to find a solution and implement changes to ensure it does not happen again. And in the end, communicate back to the stakeholder in a measured and objective way. And that's it.